In a post-apocalyptic world, humans have evolved into werewolves, and from that moment, an unspeakable catastrophe began. The female doctor barked in order to evacuate the base immediately, but it was already too late. Even as she shouted for everyone to run, the werewolves were smashing the equipment to pieces. By the time she fled the lab, all the lights were flickering uncontrollably. Just as she was trying to escape the area, she ran into a colleague. Nowhere was safe to hide anymore. The doctor wanted to find a room to take shelter in first, but behind them, the werewolves were creeping closer. Luckily, a sturdy door blocked the creatures, for now. But when they finally caught their breath, they realized another injured colleague nearby had already stopped breathing, succumbing to blood loss. Only the doctor and Jeff were left. The doctor insisted on going back to retrieve the antidote, but the outside corridors were swarming with restless werewolves. Jeff grabbed her, desperate to calm her down. "We can only go for the antidote once they're gone," he urged. They waited 3 long hours, then snuck back toward the antidote storage room, only to spot more werewolves lingering in the base. They had no choice but to wait longer. Another 3 hours passed before they finally made it. To survive in this post-apocalyptic chaos, they first suited themselves up with protective gear, then put drops of the antidote in their eyes. It was only a temporary fix, but it was far better than having nothing at all. With nowhere else to go, the doctor agreed to Jeff's plea, to go with him to rescue his family. But no sooner had they gotten in the car and started to drive than Jeff's wife called. "The house is surrounded by a pack of werewolves," she whispered. The doctor leaned in, mouthing, "Don't make a sound, they track noise." But even as they spoke, a human scream rang out behind Jeff's wife. She told Jeff what she'd heard, but he begged her not to open the door. Then she walked to the security monitor and froze. The person screaming was her best friend. In that moment, she couldn't bring herself to turn her back. She had to help. But just as she reached for the door, the werewolves snatched her friend away. The shock of it made Jeff lose control of the car. They crashed. Half an hour later, the wreckage still sparked with leftover electricity. The doctor and Jeff finally woke up, groggy but alive. Luckily, no werewolves had found them in their unconscious state. They decided to continue toward Jeff's home on foot. They walked quietly for half an hour, until they rounded a corner and saw a street teeming with werewolves. Charging through was out of the question. They ducked behind cars, using them for cover as they inched forward, step by step. Then, suddenly, Jeff's watch beeped. In an instant, every werewolf in the street locked onto them.